Hello everybody and welcome back to Slay the Princess. As a reminder, this game is graphic and does have some effects that could cause motion sickness. And with that reminder, we're going to continue with what we were doing. Load a game.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess. You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
You could skip previously seen dialogue by hitting tab on your keyboard. Okay. Okay. The end of the world, what are you talking about? Have you ever considered that maybe the only reasons why she's... Killing Princess seems kind of bad though, doesn't it? Can't someone else do this? Forget it, I'm not doing this. Have you ever considered that maybe I'm okay with the world ending? Do I get some sort of reward for doing this? Thanks for telling me. Sweet, I've always wanted off a monarch. Silently continue to the cabin. We're going to turn around and leave.
Seriously? You're just going to turn around and leave? Do you even know where you're going?
No. Okay, fine. You're persistent. I'll go to the cabin and I'll slay the princess. Ugh. Okay, fine. I'll go to the cabin. I'll talk to the princess. Maybe I'll slay her. Maybe I won't. I guess we'll see. Lie. Yes, I definitely know where I'm going. Nope. The only thing that matters is where I'm not going. The cabin is not going. I'm not the cabin. I'm not going to the cabin. I'm actually pretty okay with the world ending. I relish the coming of a new dawn beyond our own. I'm gonna go walk in the opposite direction now. Quietly continue down the path from the cabin. Nope.
Fine. I suppose you just quietly continue down the path away from the cabin. Good. What we're being asked to do here is wrong. Better to wash our hands of this whole situation than to take part in it. Ignore that annoying little voice. He doesn't know what he's talking about. That's strange. It looks like this path also leads to the cabin. How convenient.
Of course.
Everything's back on track again. Maybe the world can still be saved after all.
Turn around again and leave again.
You're really keen on wasting everyone's time, aren't you?
Yes.
It's remarkably selfish, if you ask me. I've already outlined the stakes of the situation. If you don't do your job, everyone dies. Like, dies. Forever.
I don't care. I'm not killing your princess. Good. Maybe everyone should die. It's what they get for dumping me in the woods and asking me to kill someone for them. You're not emotionally blackmailing me into doing this. Quietly continue down the path.
Stakes and consequences aren't emotional blackmail. They're facts of life, and if you had an ounce of maturity, you'd understand that.
Ouch.
But fine, you turn around and trek back down the path you came. Oh, would you look at that? You're at the cabin again. Now, I'm not normally one for superstition or astrology, but I have to say, it seems like the universe itself is doing its best to bring you to your fated confrontation with the princess.
There's no fighting this, is there? I have to go into the cabin, don't I? Fine. Oh yeah? Well, I guess I start walking in a different direction. Again. In fact, I'm going to just keep trekking through the wilderness until I find a way out of this place.
There's always a choice. Let me tell you right now that you're making the wrong one for pretty much everyone who has ever lived, as well as for everyone who ever will. And here we go. As you trudge into the woods, something strange starts to happen. At first, it's little flickers out of the corner of your eyes. Glimpses of familiar wooden structures through the leaves. But as you focus on your surroundings, you start to realize that those flickers weren't just a trick of light.
Interesting.
In every direction, there is a path and a cabin. And not just a cabin, the cabin. an infinite fractal of paths and cabins desperately trying to draw you back to where you need to be. Wait, what's going on? But you're too stubborn for that, aren't you? It doesn't matter how many paths or cabins appear around you, you're just going to do whatever you can to shirk your responsibility because you care more about irritating me than you do about the fate of the world.
Correct!
You've doomed us all, you know that, right? But of course you do. Otherwise you wouldn't just wander off into the forest in search of certain death. You lose track of just how long you spend aimlessly tromping through the wilderness. But it's not like any of that time spent lost in the woods really matters, because it isn't long before the world ends and everyone dies.
Oh, poor baby. The stranger. Interesting.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess. You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
I'm getting a terrible sense of deja vu. Wait, hasn't this already happened? Okay, no. You aren't kidding. She actually ended the world last time, didn't she? What the hell is she? Oh, you bastard, you're in for it now. I'm wise to your tricks. But I died. The whole world ended. What am I doing here? Those walls weren't here last time. Oh, shit. I didn't even notice that. You can't just force me to go to the cabin. Yep, okay. Heading to the cabin now, where I'm definitely going to slay the princess. Yeah, I get it. I'm going to the cabin. Silently proceed to the cabin. If I can't run away from the cabin, then I'm just going to stay here in the woods forever. Stay in the woods. Forever. Those walls.
What are you talking about? I'm sure those walls have always been there. It makes sense if you think about it. If there weren't any walls in the woods, someone might have gotten lost. Or, heaven forbid, someone other than you might have stumbled onto the princess. If he doesn't remember what happened, then maybe it's best to keep it that way. I don't know. I think it's more fun if he knows what we're thinking. He's like a captive audience.
Contrarian. Okay.
He might have walled off everything but the path to the cabin, but I'm sure there's plenty of other ways we can ruin his day.
I'm in.
If by ruining my day, you mean ruining everyone's day forever, then yes, I suppose there are plenty of ways you could pull that off. The world really did end last time, didn't it? We should be careful. For all we know, we just got lucky. The world hasn't ended yet. And you are never going to slay her with that attitude. Stuff those pathetic little voices to the back of your mind and stay focused on the task ahead.
Okay, but you're a voice in my head. Can I stuff you in the back and never hear your voice again? That'd be great. Lie. Yep, okay, heading to the cabin. Yeah, I get it, I'm going to the cabin. Silently proceed to the cabin, but can't run away from the cabin, then I'm just gonna stay here in the woods forever.
Oh, that's clever! A little boring, though. It's extremely boring. Can we really do that? Can we really just do nothing? No, you can't just do nothing. You have to do something. Alright, so it's decided. Even if it's boring, we're going to do nothing forever. Congratulations, you continue to waste everyone's time and do nothing. Wait, can you still hear me? Everything's getting fuzzy. What is that weird feeling? It's like I'm barely even here anymore. Well,
no,
it's not
we're just
nothing,
associating.
That's for sure.
Where are my ADHD meds?
We messed up.
The world around you is unwound, its physical matter replaced by a textured nothing. You find yourself in a long quiet. Once again, memory returns. There is a distant rumbling of sound of many sounds. Undulations plus pulse louder as something other comes close. You already know what dwells in the empty space. Feelers probe across the fabric of reality. Extremities find your consciousness and wrap themselves around it. You are no longer alone. Confusion. Why are you here? I am unfinished. Resistance. Fingers drag claws across the glass surface of your soul. Frustration. This vessel is full of you. It is useless to us if it doesn't bring more gifts. Force pushing against your will. No, you cannot go back. Not there. Regret. This world is broken beyond repair. We must weave something new. A wagging finger. There's only so much thread in this place. Do not waste it. I am your only salvation.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess. You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
The end of the world? What are you talking about? Can't someone else do this?
Unfortunately, you're the only one who can pull this off. I don't make the rules. I wish I did, but I don't.
Silently continue to the cabin.
You make your way up the short path to the cabin. You'll find the princess within. A warning before you go any further. She will lie, she will cheat, and she will do everything in her power to stop you from slaying her. Don't believe a word she says.
We're not going to go through with this, right? She's a princess. We're supposed to save princesses, not slay them.
Ignore him. He doesn't know what he's talking about.
Proceed into the cabin.
The interior of the cabin is almost entirely bare. The air is stale and musty, and the floor and walls are painted in a fine layer of dust. The only furniture of note is a plain wooden table. Perched on that table is a pristine blade. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
Take the blade.
You take the blade from the table. It'd be rather difficult to slay the princess and save the world without it.
Enter the basement.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a staircase faintly illuminated by an unseen light in the room below. This is an oppressive place. The air feels heavy and damp, a hint of rot filtering from the ancient wood. If the princess really lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor. Her voice carries up the stairs.
Who's there?
That's a lot more sultry than I remember.
She sounds dangerous. It's almost as if she's the one in charge down here.
Don't let it fool you. It's all part of the manipulation.
Hi, just checking in on you. Hey, I think I'm here to kill you and continue down the stairs. Just checking in on you.
It's been so long since anyone's come down here. I was starting to think they'd forgotten about me.
Definitely a lot more sultry than I remember.
You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall of the basement.
She's so coldly beautiful. Is she really a threat to the world?
Focus on the task at hand.
And there you are. Are you here to kill me or something?
What? No way, why would you even think that? Okay, yeah, you caught me, I'm here to slay ya. Nuh-uh. I haven't decided yet. I'm just here to talk. Steel your nerves and step forward. I haven't decided yet.
How about you drop the knife, and the two of us just talk?
Look how reasonable she's being. We should just drop the blade and talk things out. Don't you dare. It's fine. We can decide what we want to do after we talk to her. Maybe she really is a monster. But killing someone in cold blood isn't very becoming of us.
Drop it.
The blade tumbles out of your trembling hands and drops to the floor with an unceremonious clang.
Thank you.
Against your better judgment, you step forward to speak with the princess face to face, unarmed. We'll be fine. I don't know what you're hoping to accomplish here, but I can assure you there's no reasoning with her. Just make sure you don't forget about the blade on the floor. You're going to need it.
So here we are. What an awkward start to a relationship.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty awkward. A relationship. Are you coming on to me? How would I get you out of here? I'm here because you're supposed to end the world. There's people out there who think you're going to end the world. What do you have to say about that? What's your name? How long have you been down here? Do you know why I'm here to kill you? Oh, sorry about that. Okay, we've talked enough. What's your name?
She hesitates before answering.
You can address me as Your Royal Highness, or Her Majesty. Any honorific should do, really.
Note the lack of detail. You can't trust her.
Yeah, it's pretty awkward.
I know. I just said that. Now why are you here to kill me?
I have my reasons. Do you think I just came here to kill someone without even knowing why? That'd be ridiculous. Do you know why I'm here to kill you? You're supposed to end the world. I've been told things, but I'm not sure what to believe. You're supposed to end the world.
Don't just tell her that.
Is that why they threw me down here? But I don't want to hurt anyone. I like the world, I think. I don't remember much about it, to be honest. I've been down here a long time.
Just how long has she been down here?
If I'm supposed to be capable of ending the world, then how did I wind up here, chained to a wall? Have they told you why I'm allegedly so dangerous?
Deflect. What are you going to do if I let you out of here? I've been told enough. I was hoping you'd tell me. No, but I'm sure they have their reasons for keeping that information secret from me. No, and if I'm being honest, I'm more inclined to trust you than I'm inclined to trust them. I'm more inclined to trust you.
Sooner or later, you'll understand that I have your best interests at heart. Hopefully sooner.
How sweet. Now be a pal and help me get out of here, would you? We could figure out how to deal with them after I'm free.
I still have a few more questions before I decide what to do. Slay the princess, examine the chains.
You walk up to the chains binding the princess to the wall and give them a tug. They're large and heavy, far too solid for you to even imagine trying to break them apart.
I'm guessing you don't have the key.
No.
Maybe it's somewhere upstairs. Doubtful. Whoever locked the princess away down here intended for her to never see the light of day. They wouldn't have just left the key to her chains somewhere in the cabin.
If there isn't a key, do you have any ideas? I'm going to check upstairs. Maybe the keys will still lying around somewhere up there. Okay.
I'll be here.
You attempt to make your way out of the basement, but the door at the top of the stairs slams shut. You hear the click of a lock sliding into place. Is someone else here?
Turn to the bottom of the stairs.
You make your way back to the bottom of the stairs. This would have been so much easier if you'd simply slain her like you were supposed to. Easier for whom? Easier for everyone.
I heard the door slam. They locked you down here too, didn't they? The knife. Pick it up and cut me out of here.
You won't like what happens if you do that.
Save the princess.
Against your better judgment,
Okay, we've done this.
you place the blade against the princess's arm. You cut into her flesh. The blade is sharp, and you make quick work of it. Before long, you're able to crack through bone, and she pulls the bleeding stub of her arm through the iron gauntlet.
She didn't so much as utter a sound. Free from her bindings, the princess turns to face you, her fierce gaze meeting your eye.
How is she so composed after losing an arm? It's like she isn't even bothered by it.
Thank you. Now let's get out of here.
Approach the locked door.
No, we won't have any of that. The stakes are too high. You can't just let her escape into the world. No, I just can't let her escape into the world. As the princess approaches the bottom stair, your body steps forward and raises the blade. Wait, this isn't fair. You can't just do that. Watch me.
Alright, well, we're actually gonna... Because the Warnher's down here, we know this. We've been through this, so we're just actually gonna slay her.
You bring the blade down and plunge it into the princess's back. Finally. Okay. There's no going back now. Though the blade left a deep gash in her shoulder, she barely so much as flinches, turning around to stare at you incredulously.
Are you serious? I don't know what came over you, but if we're doing this, I guess I'll have to kill you. Do you think I need both of my arms to do that? I can beat you to death with one. But I don't have to tell you that. I'll go ahead and show you.
Slay the princess.
Thank you. You swing your arm towards her throat, the blade singing through the air. But she's ready for it. She grabs your arm, her grip like a stone vice. You drop the blade, pathetically. She lets go, and faster than you can react, rears back and hits you with a bone-shattering haymaker. There's a ringing in your ears. You're fairly certain you can feel bone grinding against bone where she fractured your jaw, but your body isn't allowing you to feel much right now, adrenaline coursing through your system and numbing your nerves. You fall to your knees. You're barely able to bring your trembling arms up to defend yourself before she hits you again. Every blow is as punishing as the first. You feel bones shatter with every impact, unknown ruptures blossoming with blood somewhere inside of you.
You poor thing. I'll go ahead and put you out of your misery.
She places a confident heel on your chest and pushes you down to the ground. Her knee falls to your throat, your windpipe crushed beneath a weight you didn't think her slight form could possibly possess. It can't just end like this, right? I'm sorry, but it's over. Everything goes dark, and you die. You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess. You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
Proceed to the cabin.
A warning before you go any further. She will lie, she will cheat, and she will do everything in her power to stop you from slaying her. Don't believe a word she says. We might as well just pledge ourselves to her and stop pretending we're capable of doing anything in this situation. She probably doesn't even need to try to overpower us. Can we tone down the pessimism just a smidge?
No.
I'm not being a pessimist. I'm just being realistic. You're being annoying. Just ignore their bickering, and whatever you do, don't pledge yourself to her. I cannot stress enough how absolutely catastrophic that would be for everyone, yourself included. I agree. If she's wrongfully imprisoned, then we should rescue her, but if he's telling the truth, we shouldn't just hand her the world on a silver platter. Rescue her? Given the stakes of the situation, there isn't really a difference between rescuing her and pledging yourself to her. Either would be terrible. So please, try to ignore both of those knuckleheads and focus on saving the world. Let's not make this harder than it has to be.
Proceed into the cabin.
If that's what you want,
I guess I don't have a say here. The interior of the cabin is larger and more grandiose than its humble exterior would suggest. The only furniture of note is a massive marble altar with a pristine blade perched on its edge. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
There's another mirror.
Why do we feel so small? We don't feel small. We are small.
Take the blade.
You take the blade from the altar. It would be difficult to slay the princess and save the world without a weapon.
You didn't say anything about the mirror on the
That's
wall.
because there isn't a mirror. There's the altar, the blade sitting on the altar, and the door to the basement. There's nothing else in here. There's definitely a mirror. There isn't. Who cares if there's a mirror? We're all going to die anyway. And I'm sure that if we looked in there, we'd just see something sad and miserable looking back at us. We don't need any reminders of what we are. It would only make things worse. For the
Sad.
last time, you're not going to die unless you let it happen. And luckily for you, there isn't a mirror, so no one needs to worry about confronting a grisly visage any time in the near future. Though, for what it's worth, if there were a mirror, I'm sure that you wouldn't find anything sad or miserable in it looking back at you. You probably look perfectly normal. Probably. Do you not know what we look like? He knows. He just doesn't have the heart to tell us.
Interesting. I care about whether I'm being lied to. There's a mirror. I want to look at myself and look to see how handsome I am. It doesn't matter if there's a mirror. It doesn't really matter.
But it does matter. Don't you care if we're being lied to? If he's willing to lie about something as innocuous as a mirror, what else is he hiding from us? I'm not lying to you. Use your eyes. There is no mirror.
It just
Why would I lie
vanished.
about something so meaningless? What good would a mirror even do? Let you waste time preening yourself instead of doing what needs to be done. But there was a mirror a second ago. We should count ourselves lucky. Some things are better left unseen.
Okay, broken. Enter the basement.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a spiral staircase, its steps almost as deep as you are tall. The smell of incense drifts up from below. For a moment, you almost feel at ease. This is actually kind of nice. It's still a stone basement. If the princess lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor. Her booming voice rolls up the stairs.
Is that a guest I hear? Don't linger on the stairs. Come down and witness me.
Ma'am, I'm gonna need you to stop being hot. Okay, you're making it slaying you difficult. I don't want to, but I gotta. Ma'am, with all due respect, please stop being sexy. I have a type. Moving on.
You weren't kidding when you said it was booming. She wasn't like this last time. We need to get down there. She wants us to see her. We need to see her. Should we be worried about your sudden change in attitude? Just a few minutes ago you were going on about how pointless everything was. Now you want to go down there. It doesn't matter what that little voice says. He's not the one making the decisions. Though if his ramblings get you to the princess, they get you to the princess.
Continue downstairs.
Making your way down the spiral staircase is a time-consuming and exhausting effort, every step requiring you to clamber over one edge before dropping to the next. But soon the end comes into view, and you tumble to the bottom, entering the vast, temple-like room beyond. The princess towers over you,
Ma'am!
almost glowing in the weak starlight, her figure framed by a stained glass window. Her long hair billows around her, and a chain binds her wrist to the far wall.
What did I just say? Ma'am! Damn it! God damn!
The chain is nothing to her. It might as well be a toy for all the good it would do. I told you it was pointless to resist her.
The little bird has returned to me. I wonder what he wants.
Ma'am! Stop! I'm married!
You brought that knife again, even though you know it's useless. Such charming audacity. Drop it.
Yes, Mommy. Drop it.
The blade slips from your fingers and clatters uselessly to the floor. We didn't have to do that.
And yet you did.
She's so much more than us. You wouldn't understand what it feels like to be in her presence.
Oh, I understand what's going on, and you'd better snap yourself out of it.
Kneel.
Yes, Mommy. Kneel.
On her command, you fall to the floor, knees painfully connecting with hard stone.
That's my good little bird. Now, why don't we talk? The last time we met, you told me I was destined to end the world. That thought wrapped itself around my heart. It has pulled at me since the moment I squeezed the life out of your broken lungs. I could feel its fundamental truth awaken me. The collapse of the old is a necessary prelude to the birth of the new, and the world as it is now is overdue for alterations. It's time for me to seize my destiny, and you, little bird, will help me seize it.
Well, that gives away the game, doesn't it?
It does. But why did she say the last time we met? That's not right. That can't be right.
She's right. We've been here before. And we've died here before. Pitifully. We might as well do what she asks of us and help her. She is inevitable. Can't you feel it?
He's being melodramatic, but the point stands.
What are we even supposed to do to stop her?
Well, I'll be damned. That's not good. Okay. First things first, you're going to have to stuff those pessimistic thoughts someplace far, far away and commit yourself to what needs to be done. The stakes of the situation should be perfectly clear to everyone now. If you're going to save the world, you have to have faith that you can pull this off. You can't win a battle that you've already lost in your mind.
Very true. What would you have me do? What do you have planned? Excuse me. Just because you're supposed to end the world doesn't mean you actually have to do it. You could be whatever you want to be. I have questions for you before I decide to do anything. What happened to you after I died? I'm not going to help you end the world. I don't care if something new comes after. I just can't let you do that. I'm yours to command. Pledge yourself to her. While that is oddly tempting at Dobby and Mommy standing over the top of me, we kind of sort of know what happens when we leave. Just because you're supposed to end the world doesn't mean you actually have to do it. You can be whatever you want to be.
This isn't about desire. This is about what I am. And I have little interest in discussing destiny with one that cannot see the divine truth that shines in my heart.
What would you have me do? What do you have planned?
All you have to do is break these chains and set me free.
If you're so powerful, could you just break the chains yourself?
Don't be rude. Of course she can.
It's not rude to question someone who's apparently trying to end the world.
That's exactly why it's rude. We should know our place.
I can, easily. But that isn't what I want to do. The story of a terrible and bountiful god unbounded of her own will is no story at all. It's not worthy of everything I am or everything I'm bound to become. It isn't even worthy of what I was. The destruction in Genesis that's to follow in my wake is deserving of a song that can echo for eternity. The song of you being so struck by my glory, so overwhelmed by what I am, that you feel you must deliver me into the world. And from your act of utter devotion and submission springs a new dawn, a better dawn. Submit now, submit later. It makes no difference. Because in the end, no matter how vainly you struggle against me, my will triumphs over yours.
I have questions before you decide to do anything. What happens to you after I die? What happened to you after I died? I'm not going to help you end the world. I don't care if something new comes after. I just can't let you do that. And yours to command. I can't just let you do that.
Perhaps you need another lesson in submitting to your betters. Pick up that needle.
Do it. It's what she wants.
No objections here.
I don't know what she's planning, and I don't like that we don't know what she's planning, but we might as well pick up the blade. As your eye falls on the blade, you feel a weight. Some divine hand that sits unperceived by your senses, but that manages to push you towards its desires like an unseen puppeteer.
Cool. Pick up the blade.
You reach forward and grasp the blade.
Stand.
This one's easy. See? This isn't so bad.
Okay, yeah. We can do that. We were probably going to stand anyway.
Stand.
You can feel a creaking tension between body and will as you slowly rise to your feet, like two foes forced into an unhappy truce. The princess eyes you with soft contemplation. The moment seems to last a lifetime, the silent anticipation of what's to come dragging out the long, painful seconds. But all silences are broken eventually.
To define me is to claim we stand on level ground. We do not. You are quiet shadow, while I am brilliant radiance. Take that knife in your hand and slit your throat.
What? You don't have to listen to her. You're armed. Just steel your nerves, step forward, and end this.
End this.
Oh, we'll end this all right. Your hand lifts the blade and brings it towards your throat. Okay, I apologize for the unclear language. End her.
I have no choice, man. It's slay
No,
yourself.
you can't just slay yourself. You're perfectly healthy and capable, and all you have to do is ignore her and do what has to be done. The blade and the hand that wields it remain firmly locked in place until you change your mind and decide to do literally anything else.
Look at you quaking against my will. An ant defying a god. It's pointless to resist. In the end, everything submits to oblivion. But you're not the one resisting me, are you? There's something else in there. Is that a person? No, it used to be a person. It's something different now. An echo.
Is she talking about you? That's impossible. She's not supposed to be able to interact with me.
You're a small one, aren't you? A shriveling little worm stretched beyond its limits, trying to control things that it can't understand.
No. What are you talking about? I'm just...
I don't care what you are. You're mine. You
You bring the blade to your neck. You slice through soft flesh, severing veins and arteries, your blood flowing freely down your body. It's a painful lesson in obedience, but the pain won't last forever. No.
When I see you again, you'll free me from my chains and deliver me to the destiny that lies beyond this place.
We will. I promise.
I know you will.
Everything goes dark, and you die. You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path...
Oh, let me guess. And at the end of the path is a cabin.
Excuse me?
Come on, man. We can see it right in front of us. And besides, we've been here like, 5 times already?
I think this is 3.
Who cares? The woods are always the worst part anyway. Nothing ever happens in them. I care. Every single time you've been here, it means an entire other reality has been damned to oblivion. One reality is already an incalculable loss. And there is a massive difference between 3 and 5. Feels like the numbers getting thrown around here are too big not to be abstract. Numbers like 5. Numbers like entire realities. At the end of the day, it's all just silly, isn't it? None of us can count to a whole reality, and he's asking us to think about the difference between 3 and 5.
You're already starting to lose the thread.
Just because you can't personally sum up the contents of an entire reality doesn't mean that the people inhabiting it don't contain moral value. If you have any sense of ethics left in there, if you have any moral compass, please, you have to stop her.
Don't you get it? Might makes right, and she didn't even have to touch us last time to prove her power.
Oh, so I got more than one now.
So what? Just because she made us kill ourselves, we're supposed to submit to her authority without question?
I knew when to surrender to our better. You would have lost eventually anyway, and it would only have made her angry. It would only have made things worse for all of us.
I'm gonna be right back. I'm gonna check on my dog. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that. My dog was in the kitchen. He knows he's not supposed to be. Alright. Back to it.
Oh, for the love of... Can you all please just get on with it? You're not making this any easier for yourselves. Do we even have agency right now? We either do what she wants, or we do what he wants. Either way, we're listening to somebody. Please, nothing in life is a binary. Obviously, we find a third choice that nobody wants.
You all talk about choices and freedom, but there is no choice when it comes to the will of a god.
I'm going to cut you off right there. She is not a god, and the more times you fail, the harder it becomes for you to succeed. But the fact that you're still here means you still have a chance to pull this off. So, princess, dangerous, cabin, slay, now.
Okay. Head to the cabin.
But a great and horrible change is already underway. The ground quakes beneath your feet, and you feel an unyielding force pulling at you and your surroundings. The trees start to sway, then crumble, breaking apart as everything is drawn towards the cabin. Even the earth beneath you seems to shift, your feet unable to grip solid ground as you're dragged forward along with everything else.
The end of everything. The beginning of something new. The moment we open that door, she will be free.
Any, words of warning? You already know everything you need to know.
Proceed into the cabin.
As you step forward, the cabin explodes. You're flung backwards, violently slamming into a tree as debris rains down around you. watch in paralyzed awe and terror as the princess emerges, her body unfurling from some vast space as she stands upright to face you.
Ma'am! I know I literally just died, but God, stop!
The world bows to her. The ruined landscape shifts, trees and stone and the ground itself succumbing to her gravity, orbiting her like a great black hole.
Finally, the little bird has set me free. This is always how it was going to end. And this is always how it was going to begin.
There's a loud thunk from the tree behind you as something embeds in its shattered bark. Your pristine blade. It's now or never.
Hey, funny one. Didn't you say something about the third option earlier? One that would make everyone unhappy? Take the blade, embrace your new goddess.
Well, we could always run away, right? To where? I don't know. Anywhere.
You're all ruining the moment of her ascension. Have you no respect for the divine?
Take the blades.
With a grim determination, you yank the blade from the trunk. Yeah, this feels right. She doesn't get to just smugly stand over us like we don't matter. Let's take her down a peg.
You're not going to win. You know that, right? What are you going to do with that tiny blade? Give her a scratch?
Even if that's all we manage, I'd rather go down swinging. See how everything's floating around her? I bet we could make it if we just jumped really hard. You gather yourself, closing your eyes and shutting out the towering vision of the princess. There is only her and you. That's all there ever was. It's time to face her.
Charge into oblivion!
You launch yourself towards the princess. The pull of her gravity catches you, carrying you across the ground into the violent swirl of her orbit.
Such defiance even now. Do it then. Show me what you think it takes to end that which is destined to end everything.
Don't you see how hopeless this is? She fears nothing.
Soundtrack's bop, though.
That's right, she doesn't. So she has no idea what she's in for. With a heavy thump, you land on her chest. It's now or never. We've come this far. Let's take it home.
Carve into her divine heart.
You strike, but her skin is like steel. Though you stab at her again and again, the wounds are superficial, mere etchings in a sprawling surface.
You see? It was always pointless. All this has done is bring us close to her. And how beautiful it is to be so close.
It's not pointless, it can't be. We wouldn't be here if there wasn't some hope we could succeed.
Is that all?
The princess plucks you from her chest, pinching the scruff of your neck delicately between two fingers as she brings you to eye level.
I forgive you your transgressions, but my destiny is inescapable.
She thinks she's so much better than us. There has to be something else we can do. We're not going out like this.
He offered us forgiveness. You would turn down such an incredible gift. You would turn away from her glory for something as petty as pride.
Hurl the blade at her eye.
Yes! Let's give her something to remember us by. You concentrate your will to a fine point and hurl your blade at the princess's eye. It flies through the night sky
And then nothing. She could never be harmed by...
it pierces her cornea. She howls, recoiling in pain.
and you fall from her distracted hand. You hit the ground with a painful thud. She narrowly misses you as she comes crashing down to her knees.
So I've misread you. You are not the willful key that will turn the lock of my liberation. You are an enemy to be smitten by my hand.
The princess holds up her monumental hand, its glowing palm radiating a blinding light. It grows and grows until it's all you can see. And then you erupt, your very soul mere kindling to her light. The inferno incinerates everything that is you, and with it... No, that's not right. Why is it hot? I'm not supposed to be able to feel anything. Oh no. Oh no.
You leave me no other choice. Suffer for the crime you have committed against my divine body. Damnation will purify us both.
There's nothing left to burn, yet you still persist amid a world unraveled.
It's cold now, and I feel small. I thought I was everything. But I'm no better than you, am I?
Hands! You do not get the chance to respond, nor will you ever. It's time to leave. Memory returns. Approach the mirror. Silence as you approach. The voices have all burned away. Gaze into your reflection. Silence as you reach forward. They're gone once again. The mirror always makes them leave, but you need to see what's in it. You've grown. You find yourself in the long quiet once again. Proceed to the cabin. You are at the cabin. Approach her.
When I found you in the long quiet alone, I was terrified. What if you had decided to let me wither? But your commitment now is final. Your ability to walk the path of mutual annihilation is vanished with your return. If you still wish to obliterate me, it will have to wait until I am complete. Flickering lights and empty cityscapes become pockets of vitality and movement. I am more than I was before. Whenever you are ready, I will wipe your slate clean once again.
Explorer, are you the same being as you were before? How much have you changed?
Is a child the same as an infant? I am an unbroken pattern, but every vessel gives fresh perspectives and carves new avenues of expression. I am different, but I am the same.
Everything you say feels like a riddle. Can you give me a single straight answer? What does it feel like to change like this? When this is all done, do you know what you want to do? You know, at the end of this, once you're finished, I'm going to kill you, right? When I go back, it's as if an invisible wall closes around me. Why can I not do the same things I've done before? You have been kinder to me than anyone else I've met. Thank you. You have been kinder to me than anyone else I've met. Why? Okay. What do you want me to bring you next time? Do you have any thoughts on this vessel? I don't want to hurt you, but the more times I go back, the worse I fear things will be. What do you feel about me, these vessels I've been bringing you? I've hurt them. How many more vessels do I need to bring you? And what if I don't want to bring you any more vessels? What if I just wait here forever? Enough with all the pretension, you're not actually saying anything. I'm ready to go back, attack the entity, destroy your body. What do you feel about me, the vessels I've been bringing you, and I hurt them?
The vessels are a weave of emotion at odds with themselves, but they are only perspectives. They are not me. The wounds they've suffered carve texture around my heart. Without them, I would be as I was before. I would be alone and without sensation. I could not feel the joy of having you by my side, for I would not know your absence.
Okay, I'm ready to go back.
I await your return, but it will give me time to reflect on what I am. We will meet again.
Everything goes dark, and you die.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess. You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
Silently continue to the cabin.
You make your way up the short path to the cabin. You'll find the princess within. A warning before you go any further. She will lie, she will cheat, and she will do everything in her power to stop you from slaying her. Don't believe a word she says.
We're not going to go through with this, right? She's a princess. We're supposed to save princesses, not slay them.
Ignore him. He doesn't know what he's talking about.
Proceed into the cabin.
The interior of the cabin is almost entirely bare. The air is stale and musty, and the floor and walls are painted in a fine layer of dust. The only furniture of note is a plain wooden table. Perched on that table is a pristine blade. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
Take the blade.
You take the blade from the table. It'd be rather difficult to slay the princess and save the world without it.
Enter the basement.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a staircase faintly illuminated by an unseen light in the room below. This is an oppressive place. The air feels heavy and damp, a hint of rot filtering from the ancient wood. If the princess really lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor. Her voice carries up the stairs.
Who's there?
She sounds dangerous. It's almost as if she's the one in charge down here.
Don't let it fool you. It's all part of the manipulation.
Come down the stairs.
Good. You're still listening to reason. You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall of the basement.
She's so coldly beautiful. Is she really a threat to the world?
Focus on the task at hand.
And there you are. Are you here to kill me or something?
What? No way. Why would you even think that? Hang on. What? No way. Why would you even think that? Okay, yeah, you caught me. I'm here to slay ya. I haven't decided yet. I'm just here to talk. Still your nerves and step forward.
You step forward, your grip on the blade tightening as you steel your resolve.
Oh? No talking then? Fine. What even makes you think you can kill me? I'm probably chained up in this basement for a reason, right? And if that knife is the only weapon you have, you'll have to get close enough to use it. So, you should just drop it. Best not to risk finding out what I can do.
She's unarmed. If you hesitate now, it'll be too late. End this.
Are you sure she's not armed? I'm sorry, can we just talk? I'm not dropping the blade. Drop the blade, slay the princess.
You lunge forward without a moment's hesitation. You feel flesh easily give way and look down to see your blade already sinking deep into her heart.
Oh. This is it, isn't it? I'm almost embarrassed. I should have seen that coming. But I have to wonder, do you actually believe this was enough to kill me?
It's like she's convinced she can't die. Yes, even as she lays there dying, she entirely believes herself to be alive and well. But it's over, isn't it? She stopped breathing moments ago, that arrogant look still plastered on her face. But is it over? Really over?
Of course it is. She's dead. I'm not sure. I feel like she has some kind of trick up her sleeve. Of course not. That's way too easy. I feel like she has a trick up her sleeve.
You could check her sleeves if you want, but I can assure you that there's nothing hidden up there.
We should make sure. What's the harm in checking for a pulse?
I really don't think you should do that.
And why shouldn't we? Is there something you're not telling us?
I've told you everything that's happened with complete accuracy. The princess is dead. Your blade pierced her heart. There's no coming back from that.
Remove the blade, check for a pulse. You're right, she's dead. Let's just get out of here. Just check for a pulse.
You lean down and place your hand against her neck, holding your breath as you search for a pulse, even though you know you're not going to find one.
We definitely won't if you keep talking. I'm sorry, do you want her to be alive? You just saved the entire world from annihilation. Why are you suddenly trying to call that into question?
Wait, what was that? You know what that was. That was the sound of a heartbeat, followed by another, and another.
I guess I won't be dying alone after all.
Something sharp digs into your side, the shock of it sending your nerves into a pained frenzy.
Quick, let's get out of here.
It's too late for that now. You collapse to the ground as the mortally wounded princess twists a blade of her own deeper between your ribs. As you fall, she falls with you, exhausted by the effort, the little life that was left in her eyes fading rapidly.
An eye for an eye. A life for a life. I guess we're even now. See you around.
Sayonara!
You were so close. Why did you hesitate?
It doesn't matter. At least you managed to take her with you, for whatever that's worth. Everything goes dark, and you die.
The razor. Interesting.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess. You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
Deja vu. What hasn't this already happened? But I already slew the princess. Sure, she also killed me, but I definitely got her. Why am I here again?
I can assure you that you didn't slay her and that she didn't kill you. People don't just spring back to life after dying, and the two of us are meeting for the very first time.
If he doesn't remember what happened, then maybe it's best to keep it that way.
This whole thing's a crock of shit. She's just going to pull a knife out of nowhere and stab us again.
Stabbed to death?
Well, you won't have to worry about that.
The princess is unarmed.
Yeah, that's exactly what you told us last time. You said this whole thing would be easy, but after we sank our blade into her heart, she just got up and started stabbing us.
Calm down. I assure you she has no weapons, so there's no reason to fear her. You were made for this job. You'll do just fine.
Let's assume I'm telling the truth, and all of a sudden... And all of this is really... Hang on, my dyslexia is kicking in. Let's assume I'm telling the truth, and all of this really did already happen. Why should I listen to you? Why should I bother doing anything? Proceed to the cabin.
A warning before you go any further. She will lie, she will cheat, and she will do everything in her power to stop you from slaying her. Don't believe a word she says.
He couldn't be more on the money. But we're really doing this, aren't we? I'd say you're lost, but I'm stuck here with you.
We know what to look out for this time. We know to be careful. Just stay focused and you'll be fine.
Proceed into the cabin.
The interior of the cabin is a jagged mess of warped wood and broken boards, their splintered edges as uninviting as shattered glass. The only furniture of note is a pointed table with a pristine blade perched on its edge. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
Take blade.
You take the blade from the table. It will be difficult to slay the princess and save the world without a weapon.
It feels a bit better to have a weapon in our hands. Let's make her hurt for what she's done to us.
Enter the basement.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing what must once have been stairs. The fractured slats look as if they've been torn from their source and violently jammed into the wall. The air seeping up from below has an almost metallic quality to it, like the smell of fresh blood. And you can hear what sounds like the rhythmic scraping of metal coming from down below. If the princess lives here, slaying her would probably be doing her a favour.
That's right, scraping. I told you she has something, I told you.
That sound could be anything. It's probably just her chains dragging across the floor. I am begging you to get out of your head. Her grating voice carries up the stairs.
I hope you've come to rescue me. I've been stuck down here forever.
There is something so wrong with that voice.
Yeah, she thinks she's better than us, like she doesn't even have to put on an act this time.
As you descend the final step, the form of the princess comes into view, her sharp eyes following you from across the room. I wonder if she remembers us.
Finally, somebody! Quick, get me out of these chains. We're not safe here.
Come on now, we're not falling for that, are we? She's trying to trick us, but she can't hide that threatening edge to her voice. She just wants us to get close, to let our guard down.
If she sounds threatening, it's because her mask is already slipping. She knows why you're here. You are armed, after all.
What are you waiting for? You are here to rescue me, right?
If I come close to you, you're just gonna stab me, aren't you? Do you remember what happened last time? I know you have a knife. I'll let you out of here if you drop it. I'd like to trust you, but you're being so suspicious right now. Can you just talk things through? I don't have the key. We killed each other last time. I'd rather not do that again. Look, I know that you're mad at me, but I think we both just need to let bygones be bygones. What happened after you died last time? What if we're both honest with each other? I was sent here to stop you from ending the world, and you killed me last time after coming back from being stabbed in the heart. Nobody has to die. Okay, what are you going to do if I let you out? Okay, I'm fine. Okay, fine, I'm coming closer to free you. You'd better not try anything. Yeah, I'm not trusting this. Bye. Screw it. Slay the princess.
The princess falls silent, her smile unwavering as you charge across the room.
Okay, she hasn't pulled out a knife yet, and her hands are still behind her back. I think we can do this. I think we can win. We just have to strike now, but make sure you keep your eyes on those hands. I don't trust her for a second.
But your focus is broken by the horrible sound of metal slicing through meat.
Whose meat? Not ours, right?
Hers, at first, then yours.
Hee
Hee. Hee.
How? What did she even hit us with?
You stare down at your chest and at the long, thin blade she impaled you with. And then the red, angry slit along the flesh of her thigh, where the blade had been nestled just a moment ago. It's still lodged in her leg, emerging from her knee, hinging up and out of her body like some extra metallic limb.
Bullshit. Absolute bullshit.
You're going to die now.
Okay.
With a twist of her knee and a painful squelch, she does just that. Everything goes dark, and you die.
The arms race.
You're on a path in the woods.
No, fuck that. If we're gonna have to keep doing this over and over and over again, we're not starting in that goddamn woods every time. We're starting in the fucking cabin.
You're what? The interior of the cabin is sharp, a constricting mess of curved and battered sheet metal pushing you towards...
Wait, excuse me? What just happened? What did you just do?
I feel dizzy.
Oh ho ho ho! I guess I took us to the cabin, didn't I? Isn't that interesting? Who holds the cards now?
The circle's getting smaller and smaller. Running isn't an option anymore. We have to fight.
Good. It's better that way. Without a fight, no one can win. And if no one can win, then nothing has any meaning.
Great, so obviously you've already been here. How many times?
This is our third? No wonder things have fallen apart. You do realise that every time you fail, she escapes and an entire world is damned to destruction, right? That can't be right. That's too much responsibility.
Nah, impossibly high stakes make the fight so much better.
Let's just stay focused, shall we? The only furniture of note is a bent metal table, a pristine blade perched.
We take it.
We take it.
Okay, sure, you take the blade before letting me finish telling you it's there. It would be difficult to slay the princess and save the world without a weapon.
This feels right. We just have to keep our senses sharp.
That's right, we've got to be able to win eventually.
We will win eventually. Hell, we might even win now.
Yeah.
That's a fighting spirit I like to see. You could all learn a thing or two from this one. I'd love to get started just as much as you would, but how are we supposed to get down there? You walk through the door. You do know what doors are, right?
Which door?
There isn't a door, there's just that mirror. There isn't a mirror. You really messed things up, didn't you? It's like you can't even see reality anymore.
I can feel the air coming up from behind it, stinking of iron and steel. He might be right. Could be a trick. If our other senses can't feel it, then we can't trust it.
If it's in our way, let's just break it and move on.
Approach
Make
the
your
mirror.
way to the door at the end of the room, stopping just in front of it. You really must think you're looking at a mirror. Well, it doesn't exist. Just reach forward and open it. Let's just fumble for the handle and be done with it. I don't care what we look like. I care about getting to the end of this mess.
Wipe the mirror clean.
You reach forward and place your hand on the door to the basement. It creaks open. And the mirror's gone. How surprising.
It was never there. Just an illusion.
Let's just get to the princess already. I didn't care about the mirror before, and I care about it even less now.
Guess it's time for us to see her again. Just stay focused and you'll be fine. You step forward, but you don't get a chance to linger on the basement stairs. They are smooth and flat and metallic, an unintentional and unfortunately slippery ramp that quickly sends you skittering to the bottom.
Your body tumbles onto the basement floor and the form of the princess comes into view, standing at a distance. She gives you a wry smile.
Hi, it looks like you don't have a way out, so I'm not going to play dumb anymore. But don't worry about how bad you did last time. That's part of the fun.
She's got another thing coming if she thinks we're going down easy again.
Pride makes us dead. The only thing that matters is survival.
Actually, does survival matter? We've died twice and nothing bad has come of it. We just need to find a way to win once.
Nothing bad has come of it yet.
Plenty bad has come of it. You've left at least one entire world to ruin. The people there mattered.
The past isn't real. There's only here and now.
Your internal bickering is cut short by the wet sound of slicing meat. From the princess's arms erupt twin blades glistening with her blood, the empty flesh of her arms flopping at her elbows like torn sleeves. The chain clatters to the floor.
Ma'am, this is no longer hot. Let's see how we go. We're gonna die.
She's loose, and she is coming for you.
You're going to make me walk over to you, aren't you?
Yes.
Shit. She's coming for us, and I'm out of ideas.
We're going to fight her again. We're going to have a stiff upper lip about it. She can't hurt us if we don't let ourselves feel it. We're going to appeal to her authority. Puff her up a bit. There's no reason we can't talk this out. We're going to unconditionally surrender. We're gonna stiff up our lips, I guess.
Yes. This is the best idea anyone has ever had. Yeah, sure. Why the hell not? Let's see if we can turn off the part of us that feels things. Pain is good. It's how we stay alive. Nah, I'm sick of pain. Yeah, this whole thing would be a lot more tolerable if it didn't hurt so much.
Do your worst. I bet you can't even hurt me. Do I antagonize this woman? She's proven herself quite frequently. Wait for her to come to you.
Just standing there, huh? A bold strategy.
The princess closes the distance and we dodge.
That's funny.
And you dodge. And we fight back.
And you fight back.
Oh, you're fast. But let's see how fast you really are.
You and the princess enter a quick and vicious exchange, each of you wounding the other, but neither landing a fatal blow. Yes, this is exactly it. But the dance couldn't last forever. All it takes is a single clumsy moment. She skewers you.
Gotcha.
And? Does it hurt? No. Oh, a new one of us. I thought that only happens when we die. Did we die? You're on it. No, you're in it. Where the hell are you?
I don't like that we died without us knowing it. This really, really blurs some lines that I prefer not to be blurred. Are we still dead? Are we alive again? How are we even supposed to know the difference?
If we didn't realize we were dead, then we made progress. Good job. Stop saying dead, all of you. We might have died a second ago, but right now we're extremely not dead. This is all horribly wrong. How many times have you been here?
This is 4.
No wonder everything's such a mess. This wasn't supposed to go past 1.
I wonder what you're going to do next. You're so full of ideas, and I love that.
Oh, thanks, girl.
But I guess we don't have time to talk about things before the princess advances. Okay, whatever we do gets us another us. Let's see how many we can stack. There's got to be a point where it makes us better than her. We don't need any other voices chattering about in here. It'll just confuse us. All we need is to keep fighting. Yeah, I'll pass on that. As long as we keep moving. Why not? It's not like dying again and again is doing us any harm. Let's see how far this little mind hole goes, shall we?
Come on, show me something new.
We're going to appeal to her authority. We're going to unconditionally surrender. But that's easy. I'm going to try flirting with her. She has swords for arms, and we don't. We're panicking. She wins by killing us, right? So let's beat her to it. All of these ideas suck. Think up something better. Flirt. It doesn't work, and she kills you again, and again, and again, and again. Your memory blurs as your consciousness leaps from life to life to life, holding only snippets of the conflict that transpires.
Compliment her on those gleaming blades. There's nothing better than a capable woman. She skewers you.
You're cute.
Well, there's more of us. Let's see if that helps. Then you skewer yourself.
I thought we both understood that dying doesn't get you anywhere.
Huh, that didn't do much of anything. We're tougher than I thought. What's the point? It's all the same. She skewers you.
Oh, don't give up on me just yet. You gotta keep going.
It doesn't matter how many times this takes, we can't give up.
Okay, let's go again.
Just panic. Flee.
She skewers you.
No, you don't get to escape. That's not how this works.
See? We're getting better.
Okay, yeah. That was a good one.
Let's appeal to her better nature. We haven't tried that. I'm sure she'll listen to reason.
She skewers you.
We're getting close to something, can't you feel it? One last time.
You're right. One last time, that's all we need.
None of this is working. Think.
She skewers you. And then everything goes dark, and you die.
Mutually assured destruction.
Your Honor, don't lose your head. We're in a cabin and we'll take it from here.
Everything feels like it finally fits, doesn't it? We're up here, which is different, and different is good. And our steel claw is already in our hand.
Ho-ho! What if we throw it out the window?
Over my dead body. That won't be very hard. We've died a lot. But I can't say I mind anymore.
Besides, what better way to die so very many times than at the sharp hands of a beautiful woman?
I'm sure I can think of a better way to die. They're all the same, really.
How about we stop thinking about horrible ways to die? I don't want us to accidentally manifest anything. The only thing we're gonna manifest is finally ending up on top. There are entirely too many of you. How many times have you been here? This isn't good. This is... How about you stick to describing things, and we'll stick to doing them?
Yeah, leave it to the pros. We'll notch up that win in no time.
Narrator, we heroically stride through the door and towards our destined final encounter with our star-crossed lover.
Fine by me.
You walk to the door and onto the basement stairs, only it's more of a slide. We know. Fine, I'll just shut up then and speed this whole thing along. Are you sure you don't want me to describe the stairs? Or this room, or anything? It feels like I'm hardly a part of this. Don't care, just want to win. Fine, you make your way to the basement, where the princess awaits you.
You know, this last time I killed you, and you didn't pop right back up again? I thought I'd actually done it. I thought I'd cut you into so many pieces you just weren't able to stitch yourself back together. But I guess we're not done. That's okay with me. It's good even. I like that. I got something ready for you while you were gone. Do you want to see it? I'm not going to wait for an answer. I'm just going to show you. It's worth it though. Just you wait. And not for very long, because I'm going to do it right now.
Are you going to say what she does? Do you want me to talk now? Well, yeah, she says she has something new. I want to hear about the new thing. Yeah, me too. I think I speak for all of us when I say that I would like to hear you describe her new thing. Really? Okay then.
Here we go. Now.
The princess's skin twists, splitting into red blooms of raw meat as it stretches and tears. And then she becomes a wave of blood and viscera, pieces of her splattering against the walls. All that remains in the center of the room is a skeleton of blades. A heart beats furiously in its cage of a chest.
Are you ready for what comes next?
No.
Holy shit!
Yeah, that.
She's gorgeous. Absolutely divine. Yes, behold, the perfect woman. Do you think we can throw her out the window?
That looked painful.
How is she still alive?
Heart's still beating, that's all she needs.
This is fake. This is all fake. That's all just made up. She doesn't even have a back anymore. How are we supposed to stab her in it? This is all just a sick joke. I hate existing. We're screwed. I quit. I'm done. Forget it.
What just happened? It's so quiet.
Him too.
Something feels different about you. It almost makes me feel different. Like I should actually take this seriously for once.
You do not act. And yet, through that inaction, your body moves on its own. The princess strikes as you approach. But as her blow finishes its arc, you're already somewhere else.
You're incredible.
Your weapons clash again and again. You hear her entering a rhythm free of thought and free of yourself. And free of self. There's only the dance, the ebb and flow, the shifting of the tides back and forth between you. The deeper you fall into your play, the faster your hearts pound, and the faster the momentum volleys between you. An endlessly built crescendo, and then an opening. Your blade strikes free of volition, and hers strikes too. Both strikes are lethal, neither of you will survive, but neither of you fear what's to come. This is a good ending. You do not get to see each other die, nor will you ever. It's time for you to leave. Memory returns. Approach the mirror. You do so. Gaze into your reflection. Silence as you reach towards the glass. It's time for you to see what's in it. You've withered. You find yourself in long quiet once again. Proceed to the cabin. You are at the cabin. Approach her.
I am a growing chorus of contradiction. A mass of tides ebbing and flowing all at once in more directions than my attention can bear to hold. To look at any one is to shift them all into something new, and to look away is to reshape them yet again. All of me is changing, and yet the rest of me is still the same.
You can't be a contradiction. Contradictions don't exist.
And yet my waters flow and my streets bustle. There are no words that can describe me into non-existence. There is no logic that can bind my multitudes. I am everything that you have known me to be, but I am also none of it.
Everything you say feels like a riddle. Can you give me a single straight answer? How can you stand to be a contradiction? It doesn't matter how many times I go back. At least one of us always hurts the other. Doesn't that change you? Doesn't that make you worse? What do you think of this vessel? Enough with all this pretension. You're not actually saying anything. You know that at the end, okay, I'm gonna kill you. Do you know what happens to the world we leave behind? What do you want me to bring to you next time? How many more vessels do I need to bring you?
We will know when we near our destination.
Okay. I'm ready to go back.
I will be here when it is time for us to meet again.
Everything goes dark, and you die. The hero and the princess.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess.
Alright, guys. I'm gonna call it for today, but thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye, guys!